going on, VC? Little spotlight on Don't Break the Oath. Let me get in here. All right. So I recently got in something that made me go, you know, I think I'm going to do a spotlight on one of the greatest metal records ever cut, and definitely one of the greatest titles Metal Blade records ever dropped. So this album needs no introduction, and I'm not going to go into review. Before I did this, I looked online here, and there's lots of reviews of this record. Anybody that's probably going to watch this video doesn't need a review of this record. But it's one of those metal albums that really took my metal history into a new area when it came out. And it's definitely from a band, and it's an album that definitely influenced so many bands and metal genres out there. But it needs no introduction. Obviously, I'm wearing the shirt. I'm going to show you the vinyl stack. I'll show, I have 3 different versions on CD. I'll show the item that just came in, and let's kind of go from there. I just want to show some different pressings. So these are all different pressings. Now I take that back. I have 2 copies of one pressing. Otherwise, they're all different. And that's kind of what this video is about, is just to kind of show the different pressings that are out there. Obviously, we are talking about Mercyful Fate's Don't Break the Oath. One of the greatest metal albums ever written, one of the greatest metal album cover art pieces ever done. But originally released on Combat, and then later re-released by Metal Blade. It was released overseas on Roadrunner, Music for Nations. But let's start. I just want to show these. The one thing that I don't have is there's 2 versions on picture disc, the original picture disc version and then the new re-release. I don't have either of those, but I have the original first pressing on. So let me show these and just kind of, I don't know, do a little walk down memory lane. Well, you know, and something that was cool is when I decided to do this video, this is an album that I released, or that I released. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read a text that just came in. This is an album that I just listened to in its entirety, front to finish. And I haven't done that with this record in a long time. Because this record, like many of us, has been in my life for a long time. It's to that point now that usually when I play Don't Break the Oath, I will play certain tracks. I don't usually listen to the whole thing front to back anymore. I know the album so well that when I want a Fate Oath fix, I have favorite tracks that I play, put it on, and do it that way. And let me tell you what a treat that was to actually visit this album again as it was initially intended, front to back, as a complete album, a complete piece of work. I've kind of forgotten that, you know, like I used to listen to it when it first came out, you know. So that was really cool. And so it's just something I want to bring up. It's like, you know, if you haven't done that for a while with certain records, I might start doing that again. You know, there's so many classic albums now that I'm sure I'm not alone in this, that we definitely do that with. We'll play certain tracks, you know, instead of just playing the complete record. Then there's albums that we definitely play the complete album, and usually with certain albums, that's how you listen to them. But this is one that I usually play selected tracks on. So it was very nice to actually just go through the whole record again. Anyway, enough blabbing. I'm sure you guys just want to see the damn records. So these are all, I would say, VG++ near mint. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. So it's one of those albums that, as a collector, I do collect various copies and multiple pressings of, etc., etc. There's people out there that, oh, why do you need more than one copy of a record? well, it's not a matter of need, and if you have to ask, then you're probably watching the wrong video. Anyway, so we are going to start with, I believe I have these in order. This is the very first pressing on Combat. Beautiful cover, as you can see. And this is the green label. You are going to hear the opening of the sleeves. Sorry. Nice and glossy. See there. This is the green Combat label. As you can see there. And it comes with the printed insert. Okay. So this was the pressing that started it all for me. I've told the story before. I was actually working in a record store. I came in after my days off, and we had sections of the wall right above the bins, so that the bins set up against the wall, and on these shelves above the bins, depending on where they fell in the alphabet, they would put new arrivals or new releases, facing out up on the wall. And I remember walking down the aisle there and came across M, and right on the wall was this sitting there, and I was completely just entranced by that cover. So that's what started it. And so this is the first pressing on the green Combat label. And if I get anything wrong here, I am only human, right? This is the second pressing on Combat, and this is where the jacket is pretty much the same. There's not much difference here. The difference is on the label. This is the what do you call it? Camouflage label. So again, just beautiful copy. Yeah. There's the Combat label in camouflage, the gray and white. And then, of course, the printed inner sleeve as well. Okay. And so this one is the one that I have. I have two copies of this pressing. Back in here. Okay. All right. So there's the Camouflage Combat label. Set that over here. And then this is another copy of the same, and also very glossy, near mint, except for on this one, down at the bottom here, there's a little bit of ring wear and a little bit of residue where at one point it must have got a little damp next to another record. That's it. That is the only flaw in this copy. But again, this is printed in our sleeve, and another Camouflage label Combat. Beautiful mint vinyl. Okay, put this one away for now. And then on to the next one here. This is a Roadrunner pressing, and this is, I believe, if I remember right, this is a Spanish pressing. Oh, there we go. You can see my sticker's over there. It says import press, but you can see the Roadrunner label up there, and there's the actual label there, and it is Estudio El Dorado. So I'll show you this one, and what I love about this copy is, and I've had this copy for a while. Again, beautiful sleeve, and it has the insert. However, this is not a inner sleeve. This is just an insert. It's a single page, so I keep it in a protector. But here's the label. And what I love about this is, I've had it for a long time, and this is the one that I used to play quite a bit. And, you know, one of my favorite tracks on here, like many people, Gypsy, absolutely. Fucking what a track. But I'd watch this label spin around, and it's, to me, that's the Gypsy. That's what I always thought of. You know, when I heard that track, I'd watch the label and I'd see her, and to me, that's the Gypsy spinning around on there. But, you know, quirky little things, little memories that we create. Yeah, I believe this is Spanish, from Spain. Renee, help me out. You probably know. It's got that, you know, the jacket is beautiful, but it's that thinner, you know, almost like a German pressing kind of thing. But yeah. So Roadrunner, Estudio El Dorado. And then next up, this is a UK pressing, Roadrunner on Music for Nations. Original. These are all original pressings. You can see the Roadrunner flag bearer up there. Little tiny ding down here in the jacket. Otherwise, beautiful near-mint copy of this one. And again, it's got the inner sleeve, so not just an insert like that last one, but an inner sleeve like the American pressing. And then on the Music for Nations label. We all know this label. To me, this label, my very first Music for Nations vinyl piece I ever bought, I'll never forget it. The very first piece I ever bought from Music for Nations that had that label on it was Wasp, Animal Fuck Like a Beast. So every time I see that label, that's always what I think of. But so this is a first pressing, I believe this is a first pressing UK. Again, I might make mistakes. It's definitely an OG pressing, but I don't know if it's the first pressing UK, but I believe so. Okay, so I have two reissue versions of this record. The first one, this is the first, I believe this is the first Metal Blade reissue. I think. Anyway, so this is it here. This came out, this one's dated 2014. So 2014. And this is just, if I remember right, this is clear yellow vinyl. Now this has the insert like the Spanish pressing, except it doesn't have the band images and King Diamond's picture on there. This is not a inner sleeve, this is just an insert. And yeah, it's not yellow, it's almost like an orange, but translucent vinyl. Black label. Okay, so that's that. Pressing, 180 gram, I believe it. I don't think it says, but it sure feels like it. But so this is the 2014 reissue. And I know there's going to be guys out there that are like, well, Les, talk about how different the different pressings sound. Dude, they all sound good. I don't know. I've not done a side-by-side by every one of these. I don't really care to. I'm not that, you know, if one sounds slightly better than the other, I'm not going to know or probably remember or really give a flying rat's ass. As long as it sounds good, that's all I care about. Anyway, so I believe that's the first Metal Blade reissue. Then this one, which is the more current, this one's 2020, the 2020 reissue. And this is the yellow with red marbling. You know, this is the, you know, issue a lot of people probably have now. You know, the OG issues of this record, you know, you're looking at, you know, especially in the condition that I have them in, they're all like triple digit now, pretty much $100 plus. But anyway, so there you go, black label on the marbled vinyl, again with the insert, and also I believe the download card. Yeah, download card CD cover thing. Okay. So that is that one. And then there was another reissue, and I don't remember the date on that one. I think it's before the 2014, but I don't recall if it was Metal Blade. But I'll talk about it here real quick because it was a Roadrunner reissue. That's it. Because okay, so on CD, I have an original Roadrunner pressing on CD. And then I have the Roadrunner reissue, and this is the one I'm talking about, where there was a vinyl pressing of this, where the back of the album was this image instead of the cathedral picture like this. Okay, they used this as the back of the vinyl, and I swore I had that copy. I think that one must have slipped away in the original collection destruction. But so there is a vinyl issue out there with this image on the back, and I want to say it's Roadrunner because that's what the CD is. But so anyway, this is the Roadrunner Remaster copy, and then now you can get the mini album little gatefold, you know, where the CD looks like the vinyl record, digipack or digisleeve. I don't know what it's actually called. All I know is they're a pain in the ass to find sleeves to fit, but I did. But they're very cool little sleeves. Just make sure that you get those for them. But so this is the and it comes with the cool little insert also. But so this is the Metal Blade issue. I'll get back in there. So that's the Metal Blade issue on the digisleeve, digipack. I don't know. I get confused with that crap. So those are my 3 CD copies right there. And then one thing I kind of wanted to talk about was the item that just came in that started this whole shindig, or this idea of this video. Let me get these re-sleeved real quick. Totally amateur, right? Yeah, I don't, this ain't no major video editing going on here. This is me in my room showing off my Mercyful Fate Don't Break the Oath records for those that fucking care to watch it. So anyway, okay, so these back together. That's the second. There we go. Okay, so these are the vinyl pressings. Okay, of Don't Break the Oath. OGs, and you can all automatically tell which ones are reissues because they have the black spines. So, all right. So there's those. And then what I wanted to talk about was this I just got in, and this is really cool. Now, speaking of picture disc, this is picture disc. It's a gatefold, beautiful Cult Legend recordings. This is a bootleg, where I believe this is 2 bootlegs in one. I believe they released these separately at one point because I remember these images. But then this just came out, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. So if you're a Fate fan, if you're a Don't Break the Oath fan, you got to have this in your collection. Get it before they're gone, man. Beautiful. So this is Mercyful Fate, Hell's Preacher. October 24th. Oh, no, I'm sorry. October 28th, 1984, Rainbow Music Hall, Denver, Colorado, USA. How's it sound? Like a bootleg, but it's fucking cool. So let me open this up, and I'll show you the interior here, as well as the records, of course. So look how beautiful this thing is. Absolutely stellar. And so now I'll show you the records. So this is the first disc. Double-sided. Just beautiful. And then this is the second disc. The upside down cross. King's mic stand. Right? And then the original pointing devil on the back. So those are the two discs in this gatefold. Just absolutely, there's the spine. Just beautiful, and just a nice Fate piece, one that I could not pass up. It wasn't the cheapest, but it's the cheapest it's ever going to be right now. That's why I had to look at this, because this is going to be one of those ones. I'm such a fan of Don't Break the Oath, Fate in general, whatever, that had I missed this, I know I'd be kicking myself for years to come. So there we go. So, and I'll show you what it looks like next to an actual Don't Break the Oath. There you go. I mean, they got it right. Okay. So, in actuality, on vinyl, that's my Don't Break the Oath collection there. Okay. There you go. So, that's that. Now, I'm going to do a quick shout out to Marty Worm and to Alan at the Metallurgy channel, or Marty Worm channel. I'm going to dedicate this video to you guys because I know you're both fans of this as well. So this one's going out to them. But I want to show one last thing that I had to laugh a little bit when Marty Worm brought this up, because it made me think. And I remember Marty and Ellen both talking about, hold on, let me put these down. Talking about the cool thing about this artwork is it leaves you wondering, who's he pointing at? Is he pointing at you? Is he saying you're going to come down here, or to go up? Or reminds me of Uncle Sam, I want you. What's happening in this image? Okay, what's the devil pointing at? What's going on here? Is he, mentally telling you, I want your soul, your mind? Who knows? That's the beauty of art. It leaves it open to interpretation. Okay, let me tell you what I've always thought. So, well, what I've always thought after this next album came out. So what he is pointing at, to me, and this is just my theory, is he is saying you are the next and will carry it on. Well, what's he talking about? Well, what I agree with Marty Worm on for sure, and that is what could very well be, really in theory, the third Mercyful Fate album. He's pointing at her. Okay, and so if you look, they're both in the fire, they're both down there, and he's just pointing at her. Your turn, you're next. King Diamond's Fatal Portrait, which to me, even the backs go together, man. They really do. Okay. But even the songs are similar. The albums are similar. The Candle and A Dangerous Meeting, yeah. So that's who he's pointing at. He's pointing at her. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. So this was it. Like I said, I've been talking about wanting to do some different kinds of videos. This may be kind of dumb to some, but this is one of those treasured albums, really big in my life. I just wanted to share my collection of it, and get it up on video. So there we go. It's 3 CDs, 7, I believe. Yeah, 7 copies of Don't Break the Oath, plus 1 Hell's Preacher. Love this album. Love this album. So for those that watched, thank you so much. More to come, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Stay in the groove.